Keep this in mind. Always remember channels. They don't have to be perfect in pictures. Here I will give some examples. They might be perfect, but channels cannot always be perfect. A candle or a line might have come out. That's alright. Real data, exactly as it is, it confirms a lot. So we should do what happens most of the time. Now we discuss trading support, resistance, and trend lines. Basically, we have a strategy for trading on support and resistance, which we have discussed before. We call it the bounce strategy. In that, what? Do we wait for the price to come to a major support or resistance? When the price comes there, we buy if it's support. If it is a support, we will buy. If it is a resistance, if it is resistance, go sell, we will sell, but it's better to wait for the price to touch there and consolidate a little. After that, we enter into it. What are the advantages of this trade? This helps you enter at the exact top and bottom, and its risk-reward ratio, which we will discuss later, is good. But just keep in mind during volatile movements or volatile session times, as we discussed during the New York and London crossover, during a news event, you will never use this strategy. Those who do not understand this will zero out their account. Next, we have the break strategy. What is the break strategy? When the price breaks a support or resistance, we enter there. Now, there are two ways to enter. The first is when we break the support or the resistance. As soon as the candle closes there, we enter immediately. If the resistance is broken, we enter a buy. If the support is broken, we enter a sell immediately. This is called aggressive. Now, what is its advantage? The advantage is that you will never miss out. The disadvantage is that your entry will be without confirmation and it will be at a high price. So if you are not correct, you have to bear it. A heavy loss. But another way to trade the break strategy is the conservative approach, the passive approach, the cool-headed approach, which we call the cool-headed approach. What is it?
The resistance broke. We did nothing.
As price went up, we did nothing. The price came back. As we discussed earlier, the price started turning resistance into support. The price started consolidating there. It began adding support at the resistance area. What will we do? We will buy. Similarly, if the price has broken the support, we did nothing. The price went down, we still did nothing. When the price came back, it started turning that support area into resistance. What did we do? We set it. This is the conservative passive approach. We use the mind's approach. Why does it wait for confirmation? It waits for the price to come back so we can enter. The biggest point you need to understand is that, as discussed, support becomes resistance and resistance becomes support. The support that has broken is not becoming resistance. The resistance that has broken is not becoming support. So what is it? It was a fake out, it was not a breakout. The price will come back and touch its previous support and resistance again. For example, now the price has broken the resistance, the price came back. It did not turn that resistance into support. So the previous lower support will most likely be touched by the price. Similarly, if the price breaks a support and does not make it a resistance, then it will most probably touch its previous next resistance. You need to keep this in mind. You should never force trades. You should never chase trades. You need to wait for confirmation and act on reliable bounces and breaks, but focus on the level of support on the time frame. Let me mention one more point that we will discuss further in MTF multi-time frame, but I will also tell you about the support and resistance of the 4-hour daily chart. The chances of weekly and monthly support and resistance working are higher. Below 1 hour, even 1 hour works in 1 hour and 4 hours. Most of the time, it happens from the level. So the probability of your support and resistance below 1 hour working is very low. You need to pay attention to that. You have to keep an eye on whether I am not plotting support and resistance on a smaller time frame. Am I not going to such a time frame where the support and resistance do not work? Especially when we have to trade the bond strategy, we will look for a higher time frame, most probably daily support and resistance, so keep this in mind for further discussion. Next, we have the psychological level in Forex Expert. What is a psychological level? Psychological figures are those that are easy for our mind to remember. This is that level. Now, for example, there is the 1.00 level, the 1.100 level, the 100 level, the 110 level. The mind automatically remembers round numbers. All right. And this can also add to support and resistance. And most of the time, when you look, support and resistance often match with psychological levels. Why? When you're entering a trade here, when you exit, automatically your mind will go to round numbers. So where will the market movers, stop loss, take profit entries, and exits be? They will be near these levels. An example of this is round numbers. The second is the psychological level. We discussed what a psychological level is, which is round numbers. Okay, now what is the second psychological level? That daily high, previous day's high, previous week's high or low, previous month's high or low. Why would it be in people's minds? Because they remembered that the price came here and was rejected. The price came here and fell. The price came here and rose before. Over now, most probably there is a chance of this happening again. So what do I have to do? I have to focus on this. How do I identify them? In the same way, we have to look at history. We need to go back in history and look at notable round numbers, identify those round numbers where the price stalled, where the price started to consolidate or slow down, where the price stopped making higher highs and higher lows or daily or weekly highs. In those areas, we go and look at these round numbers, notify them. We can use these areas for entry and exit points.